Welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar, your top player picks on Underdog Fantasy for Week 3 in the NFL. Alongside my co-host, Tyler Wiemann, I'm Shannon Sommerville. Tyler, we did not have a good Week 2, but we're here for some redemption in Week 3. So hoping to crush these picks here. We are using the LineStar App's PropsAI tool to help us find the best value in the prop market. You can check that out at LineStarApp.com. Also, if you don't already have Underdog Fantasy, make sure to go ahead and download it and use the promo code LineStar when you do, and you'll get up to $100 of your first deposit matched. Love Underdog Fantasy. It's a great app, one of my favorites during football season, because if you're in a state like me in California, where sports betting is not yet legalized, it's just a great way to get in on the game. You can play a lot of these player picks. So we're going to give you our top 5 player picks. The first 3 are going to be the LineStar team's picks, and then Tyler and I will pick our favorite ones on Underdog Fantasy for Week 3 action. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out our Thursday night football video as well. We'll have picks for Monday Night Football coming up too. Make sure if you haven't already, that you're subscribed to the LineStar YouTube channel. We've got a ton of content coming out, plus Takedown Tyler has your daily fantasy preview covered, so everything you need to know to dominate there, he will have it there. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All right, and we are offering some money, putting the money where our mouth is here, as they say. So if we hit 4 of our 5, someone's getting $100. If we hit 5 of 5, someone's getting $200. How's that sound, Tyler? I feel like we need to give some money out after last week's poor performance by us. We're going to redeem ourselves. Don't worry. We found some pretty good edge in the market this week. So let's go get it. We're going to start things off with the Atlanta Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts, higher than 33.5 receiving yards. In Week 1, Kyle Pitts had 44 receiving yards against the Carolina Panthers. Week 2, just 15 against Green Bay. However, he's got a much better matchup this week going up against Detroit. They ranked 24th in pass defense DVOA versus opposing teams' tight end. When you look at the tight ends that the Detroit Lions have faced, Noah Gray put up 31. Noah Fant for the Seattle Seahawks put up 56. So Kyle Pitts in a pretty good spot here. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I think he's in a really good spot. Obviously, everybody loves his talent. The only question here is Atlanta going to throw the ball more than 20 times? I think they're going to have to in this game, though.
Yeah.
The game is in Detroit. Detroit is minus some defensive players there, which should make it a little easier for Pitts. But also that Detroit offense is just good, and Atlanta is going to need to score some points. And the Lions are allowing almost 58 yards to the tight end this season. So I really like this spot for good old Kyle Pitts.
All right, next up, let's go to Jacksonville's running back Travis Etienne, over 68.5 rushing yards. Etienne had 77 rush yards back in Week 1 against the Colts. Last week, just 40 against the Chiefs. However, this week's matchup is a cake matchup for running backs. They're going up against the Houston Texans, who ranked dead last in rush defense DVOA. I expect Etienne to have a big game. How about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I think Etienne, it just sets up really, really well for him. He is absolutely still the bell cow on this offense. Houston just struggles versus, protecting the run. They're 29th, allowing 114 rushing yards per game over the last 9 games. I think that just spells a problem for them and a good thing for us.
Yeah. You know what? Another good thing for us is the weakness of the Carolina rush defense as well. So we're going to take a look at the Seattle Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker, over 63.5 rushing yards. He had 64 against the Rams in Week 1. Walker had 43 against Detroit, but Detroit 10th in rush yards per game allowed. Meanwhile, Carolina ranks 25th, allowing 132 rush yards per game. When you look at the running backs they've faced, Taysom Hill, who's kind of a hybrid running back. Either way, he had 75 on the ground. Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson both had over 50 each. So I expect Kenneth Walker to go over this rushing yards total. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, last week's game against the Saints was a little interesting because Jamal Williams got hurt. Tony Jones Jr. had 2 touchdowns and Taysom Hill was rushing the ball. So They were using a lot of backs there, but Taysom Hill still absolutely gashed them. Atlanta gashed them the week before. Now it's set up for Kenneth Walker too. Atlanta's allowing 132 rush yards per game over their last 9. So I like Walker's outlook.
And this is a super talented running back that, quite frankly, you and I have not talked enough about so far this season, and
100%.
I feel like he's in a good position. All right, now it's time for you and I.
Yeah, he's in a very good position.
Okay,
he's a home run threat. He literally could get this on one play.
I know.
So I love the line.
All right, now let's you and I go head to head with our picks. Tyler, where are you headed for your favorite pick on Underdog Fantasy for week 3?
I'm going to a team with a ton of controversy around it this week. The Chicago Bears and DJ Moore higher than 42.5 receiving yards. I just think this line is way, way too low for the talent that DJ Moore has. He's averaged 67.8 over the last 5. Chicago's going to have to throw a lot in this game just to keep up. Week 2, he had 104 yards. They need to get him the ball to be a good passing offense, and they're going to keep doing it as much as they can. Let's go DJ Moore higher.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, the Chicago Bears are an absolute mess right now. But one thing that they are aware of, I think, is the fact that they need to get some of their playmakers the ball in this one and start cleaning up that offense because, quite frankly, it is a mess right now. But DJ Moore is super talented, and I really like that spot there. Nice pick there, Tyler. I'm also going to a pretty talented wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, over 69.5 receiving yards. LineStar's projection for Lamb this week is over 88 receiving yards. This is a player with the highest catch rate in the NFL, minimum 15 targets. Lamb had 77 receiving yards against the Giants in week 1, 143 against a New York Jets defense that is solid. And now he gets a cake defense going up against the Arizona Cardinals, who are 21st in pass defense DVOA versus opposing teams wide receiver 1. When you look back at the Giants, Jalen Hyatt, Darren Waller both had over 70 receiving yards in that game. You think CeeDee Lamb, who leads the NFL in catch rate, can't haul in some and put up some yards in this game? Yeah, he's going to have a nice day. Over 69.5 receiving yards for CeeDee Lamb. He's had a great start to the season so far. The Cowboys, obviously the news there is that they are now without their star cornerback in this one, who just went down today with a torn ACL. Any thoughts on that news, Tyler?
Yeah, that was interesting. It's definitely going to hurt that Cowboys D. However, I mean, that defense is very,
still
very
pretty
good.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's definitely a big hit to him.
We've had a ton of injuries this week, it seems like, and unfortunately it affected a lot of our prop bets for the last week. So hopefully players can start staying healthy. I don't know what's going on right now. I mean, I guess this happens every year, but still, hate to see it. Hate to see it.
We definitely have had some bad variants for that. I'm sure it'll bounce back our way soon. So,
you know, I tried to get Travis Kelce in the show, but we were just too indecisive on whether we liked the over or the under on his receiving yards in this one, just because of the news with Taylor Swift and stuff. It's like, do you go over or do you fade him because of the Taylor? Is that going to be a distraction? Is that, I mean, I've seen him everywhere, you know, talking about it. It's just all anyone's talking about right now, right? Like, is that a distraction? Should we just fade Travis Kelce until they break up? I don't know. What do you think? Any thoughts?
When we had that conversation, I brought it back to, I don't know what his health is like.
Yeah.
And I just want to steer clear 100% of that situation.
Right.
So, but
the line for
nonetheless,
receiving is really low for him. Like it's
71.5,
I believe. So that's low for his average last year was 78.5, I believe. So it's still pretty low, but we haven't seen him do that yet this season because last week was the first game, exactly like you mentioned. Yeah. But we're not going near it. We don't endorse either one for these purposes. You know, I'm scared to go against Taylor Swift fans too. You know, that scares me as well.
No friendship
bracelets. The Swifties are no friendship bracelets. Nice. All right, make sure to tail our picks on Underdog Fantasy. And if you haven't already, do us a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment below. Comment enters you into our profits contest. If we hit 4 or 5, we'll give out $100. If we hit all 5, we'll double it. We'll give out $200 to a randomly selected commenter, which we'll announce on the show. So good luck out there in Underdog Fantasy, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Good luck, guys.